Hey everybody, we're so glad you've joined us here on Stork Vision for the St. Patty's Day Tri-Star Boxing here at the Tennessee State Fairgrounds. We're coming up now to one of our main events. This will be a 10-round event, Edwin Reyes and Armando Vasquez. I'll give you one of the best play-by-play guys I've ever worked with in the business, Mr. David Hudson. The color analyst will be Anthony Fiorella. Kids, you're ready for a really great match according to David Hudson, and I'm going to turn it over to him and let you tell you a little bit about it. David Hudson.
This is a rematch. Reyes won an 8-round decision in their first encounter, but they're both seasoned boxers. They're both well-conditioned, and Reyes is really an action fighter, and I think he's looking for a little bit of redemption. On the last Tri-Star show, he got outboxed, not by Vasquez, but by somebody else. So I think he really wants to redeem himself. I think he has a lot to prove in this fight. And the winner of this fight could be in line for some bigger paydays. So I think there's a lot on the line, Anthony.
This could, if there's that much at stake, then I'm sure we're primed to see a great fight here as Reyes makes his way to the ring right now.
He's a good action fighter. Sometimes he just forgets his boxing skill. Got that warrior mentality, but he's always finely conditioned, throws punches in bunches, and really is a crowd-pleasing fighter.
Who you got, David?
I'm going to take Reyes. I think he's hungry, and I think he's got a lot to prove. I think he wants to redeem himself from his last fight.
Vasquez definitely one of the more experienced, the one with more experience out of the two. He's had about 26 professional fights, and for Reyes, this should be number 13 if our count is correct. 7-3-2 for Reyes, 25-20-1 for Armando Vasquez.
Yeah, and Reyes has spent some time in Las Vegas, Nevada, so he's got a lot of experience sparring with some top-notch fighters. He's a little bit of a stronger fighter, so I think he's going to try to impose his will on Vasquez. We'll see how successful he is, because Vasquez is a wily veteran.
David, in your opinion, will this go 10 rounds?
I think it will. I think it will, unless Reyes is able to really dictate and hurt Vasquez to the body. I think we're in for some exciting rounds. This could be a captivating fight.
With it being 10 rounds, you think it'll take a little longer for these guys to sort of feel each other out because they have the time to?
Well, they know each other, so I expect it to be a pretty good action fight. Reyes, as I said, is a pressure fighter, throws a lot of punches. I've never seen Reyes in a dull fight.
Tell us a little bit about our referee.
This is Dan Ziemba. Dan Ziemba is also a boxing judge. He's got a lot of amateur boxing referee experience. He's not quite as experienced, certainly, as Anthony Bryant in the professional rings, but he's a real professional. He cares about his craft. He'll do a good job.
Any differences in style between the two?
Not so much. I think, Anthony does have more professional refereeing experience, so the thing to watch out for to see if Danny sort of referees like an amateur boxer, but I don't think he will. He's a good referee. He'll do a good job.
Rule him that a slip up. Both of these guys, I believe this is.
And Reyes, look at Reyes. I mean, he just comes to fight. That's why everybody likes him. He just really comes to fight. He loves to fight. Throws punches, all kinds of punches. What he has to watch out for is he needs to be disciplined. Occasionally he gets a little wild and throws those wide punches. But he's a strong fighter. And the key for Vasquez is to land something significant to keep Reyes off him, because Reyes is a stronger fighter.
Yeah, physically, you can tell from up here, Reyes looks a little more built than Vasquez does for sure, but it's not all about that. The technicalities and stuff that come into the sport. You certainly have to be on your game, not only with strength, but the way that you throw and land your punches.
Absolutely. It's about being a professional. It's about being disciplined. It's about, keeping your combinations tight. But Reyes, I think, like I said, I think he's got something to prove. he didn't really look that great in his last outing. So I think he's going to have a good effort here.
Conditioning-wise, when you know you're preparing for a bout that can go up to 10 rounds, I'm sure it's a whole lot of cardio involved with that.
It's a lot of road work, Anthony. It's getting up real early in the road and hitting the pavement, something that I'm really quite averse to. But yeah, Reyes is very disciplined that way. He's just a tough, just loves to fight, loves to compete. And right now, I think he's imposing his will a little bit. He's not dominating, but he's winning the round.
You can tell just kind of by the posture when he's up there. He's got his arms up, his chest is out. He's ready to throw a big one.
Yeah, and you can see he just gets a little wild, but he's just really trying to impose his will. And I think where he could really do some damage is to the body. He really wants to land that left hook to the body.
Yeah, and as I'm sure you've seen here in this first round, Vasquez trying to not keep that midsection quite as exposed. He's been doing a lot of bending at the knees and such.
Yeah, and he's landed some good counters. It's just that Vasquez is outworking him. And a lot of times when it's a close round, at least subjectively, the judges tend to vote for the aggressor.
Should be creeping up on the end of the round as we speak.
Good right hand. That was an excellent punch by Edwin. Really doing a good job. That's a 10-9 round for Reyes. He was the more active fighter. He landed the more punches, and he certainly did the more damage. And I think he displayed effective aggressiveness that round.
Yeah, absolutely. Just right out of the gates, no real reason to panic if you're Vasquez. Not too terrible of a round for him, but you don't want to continue doing this because I can tell just by kind of watching him so far, Reyes is one of those guys that it feels like as he goes on later and later into the match and that confidence, if you let him continue to build it up, it could spell trouble for you.
Absolutely.
Right now we're in the middle of a 10-round bout, and we just completed that first round. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on Stork Vision. Take it away, David Hudson, our play-by-play.
Yeah, entering round two, Edwin Reyes seeking to continue his aggressiveness from round one. Probably going to try to up the attack and land more punches to the body.
David, as we've mentioned before, a judge as well. So these scores that he's providing probably very, very close to accurate what you'd hear from the judges down below.
Vasquez has really got to be disciplined and really fire some effective counters, because right now Reyes is swarming him.
Yeah,
really trying to impose his will.
Not a very good start to the round.
No,
Reyes just does a great job right out of the gates.
He's got what I refer to as frenetic energy. He's just imposing his will right now, and he's roughing him up.
Ooh.
That's what Reyes wants. He wants that type of fight. He wants to make it a brawl. He's a stronger man. He's looking to impose his will.
Vasquez trying to claw his way back into it with a couple of left hands. Not all that effective, though. And, we talked before the broadcast about those effective punches. And really, I don't think I've seen maybe one or two out of Vasquez so far.
Yeah, he's just not throwing enough. And Reyes is kind of overwhelming him a little bit. And Reyes is looking sharper than he did his last time out at Star Boxing. I'm impressed so far. I think he's done some good work with Timmy Miller.
Well, Vasquez in a lot of trouble here as Reyes lands a couple of combos up against the ropes.
Yeah, good right hand. That's a good right hand lead. Good left hook in exchange from Vasquez. So the opportunities are there because Edwin is so aggressive that sometimes he leaves himself open. But right now, he's winning this fight with his aggressiveness. But you can see why the crowd likes Edwin. He presses the action. He throws lots of punches. He's a crowd-pleasing fighter.
Definitely an aggressor. Just watching him here up close. He's a guy that he's just like you said, he presses the issue. He's going to get out there and he's going to throw his punch and he's going to fight his fight. And force Vasquez to react.
Yeah, well said.
Good left right there, though. Like you said, those opportunities are there, but
Yeah, Vasquez is the reason he's such a crowd-pleasing fighter is he's sort of hit and be hit. But he wants to fight this fight in a phone booth. He wants to close the distance and just really start pounding on Vasquez.
I like how you said he wants to fight in a phone booth. It puts it in good perspective.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Vasquez
wow, yeah.
fighting back a little better this round, but Edwin's still pressing the action. He's really found a home for that right hand. I think that was a closer round, Anthony, but I'd still give that 10-9 for Reyes.
Boy, it seemed like forever, that round. It went for a long time.
So as we sit right now, Reyes up 20-18. We're 2/10 of the way there so far. What kind of improvements did you see out of Vasquez that round, if any?
Well, I thought he landed some left hooks. I thought he opened up a little more. He's got to be more offensive. You know, you don't win fights with defense. You win fights with offense.
Absolutely.
And he's got to land something significant to keep Reyes off of it.
And Reyes, so far, I think he's done a really good job of coming out right when they ring the bell and landing a couple of quick jabs. It's really set up some of those left hooks for him.
And he's pushing Vasquez back against the ropes.
Yeah.
If Vasquez is on the ropes, that usually means Reyes has the advantage. Vasquez needs to keep the fight in the center of the ring. Well, that's easier said than done when you've got a stronger man pushing you. But that's what he needs to do.
Round 3 underway, folks. And
I just see a renewed determination and vigor from Reyes. He really looks sharper than he did his last outing.
Round 3 here at the Tennessee State Fairgrounds getting underway. And this is a 10-round match. Supposed to be. We'll see if it goes that way. It's not looking that way. I don't think Vasquez can go 10.
Certainly looking a little bit better at the beginning of this round, though. He's landed a couple of combinations.
Hook, Vasquez has got him up against the ropes, and he's going to try to work him over. Oh,
good left right there.
Edwin just is a lunch pail fighter. He just goes to work every time out. Look at that left hook to the body. That's what you like to see.
Both guys have been really not a whole lot of distance in between the two of them in this fight. They've been real close together. And so far, it seems to be panning out more for Reyes.
Yeah, like I said, he's the stronger man. And I think he's imposing his will. He really likes to brawl, and he's a good body puncher. It's one of Edwin's strengths is he knows how to work the body.
Really close together there in the corner. Referee Dan Ziembo.
He's doing a good job. He's letting him fight. And Reyes is, I'll tell you what the difference is between his last fight. He's really looking good with the straight right hand. He's found a home for it in this fight.
Working the body right there.
He's not going to win the fight off the ropes. He's just not going to do it.
Yeah, he's going to have.
I mean, I don't think he's Muhammad Ali. He's not going to be able to do the rope-a-dope like Ali did in Zaire against Foreman, right? He's going to have to get that fight in the center of the ring.
Yeah, if he can move it out. We've seen some pretty good speed out of him whenever he's able to muster together a few punches, but the thing has been he's not been able to do that because he's been up against the ropes.
Just getting outworked.
Trying to claw his way out of there any way he can, but just really Reyes just imposing that strength, though. Vasquez looks like he cannot move.
What conditioning these guys must be in, though, to be able to throw this many punches around and take these many punches?
Oh, absolutely.
It's amazing to me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just...
I mean, you don't play boxing.
No,
you got to work at it. It's just a tough sport.
It's not something that you can just pick up and say, hey, I'm going to do this overnight at all by any means.
Well, you've got that phone booth fight again. It's working out for Reyes. I tell you what, I think Edwin won another round. 10-9 Reyes, 30-27.
So if Vasquez can't put anything together here within these next couple of rounds, things are starting to look bleaker and bleaker. And talk about that confidence for Reyes earlier. It's slowly but surely starting to build up, and it's paying dividends for him.
Yeah, and I think Vasquez needs to give him some angles, step to the side, and crack him with the left hooked body head, because he does have a good left hook counter. But right now, he's just losing rounds. Reyes is outworking him.
Yeah, and we have seen that left hook landed, I think, once, maybe twice so far. But if Vasquez can't get himself off the ropes and into the center of the ring, where he's got more real estate to work with, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Well, Vasquez has taken just so many punches, I mean, from Reyes. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Round 4 underway in this 10-round battle.
Vasquez does something different to stem the tide, or more of the same. This would really be a feather in Reyes' cap if he could stop Vasquez, because Vasquez is generally not stopped. And he's lost quite a few bouts,
but he's also won 25 professionally as well.
Yeah, he's no slouch. He knows what he's doing in there, but he's got to turn the tide. He's got to land something significant, because Edwin's just really, really focused tonight.
A really, really big fight for the career of both of these guys. Reyes definitely looks like he's trying to get him up against the ropes where he can work the body again. Some of those punches from Vasquez starting to look a little bit wider.
Yeah, and I think, there's a little bit of power differential. Reyes is just a stronger fighter.
And as, if you're Vasquez here and coming into the fight, hey, this guy's stronger than me, what kind of things do you have to establish to get the upper hand?
Well, you've got to show some angles. You got to create distance. You got to create space, and you got to land some good counters. You got to make him pay coming in. Reyes has actually turned southpaw here, which is a little unusual.
Yeah.
And Reyes' feet move a little bit better than Vasquez.
Well, yeah, he's got some good speed. Edwin, if Edwin is focused, Edwin is a very tough customer to deal with in the ring. I tell you, Vasquez landed a good left hook. Anthony said it. Vasquez has found a little bit of a home for that left hook this round.
Absolutely, and Reyes moving in quickly there. He just missed landing a big right.
That's where he needs to go to work. Go work to the body. Work him over.
Vasquez trying to establish something to get out of this predicament that he's in down here on the ropes at the bottom of your screen, folks. Reyes just working away at the body. Couple of shots right to the diaphragm.
Doing a good job letting these fighters fight. He's not being overly intrusive. That's a sign of a good referee.
Absolutely.
It's like Carlos Padilla, who was the third man in the ring in the Thriller in Manila with Ali and Frazier 3. Let the fighters fight.
Yep. And we are at the end of 4, and it's getting a little bit closer, but would you still say Reyes took the round?
That was a debatable round. That round could go either way. I might actually give that round to Vasquez. I thought he landed some pretty good counter shots.
We'll say Vasquez 10-9.
I'd give Vasquez that round 10-9.
So that would bring us to a total of, 39 for Reyes and 37 for Vasquez. Approaching the midway point of this fight, round 5.
Edwin kind of smothered himself there. It's one thing to be aggressive, but you need to not smother your punches. You need to, got almost too close. If he's going to get that close, he needs to dig those shots to the body and be active.
Yeah, and by
didn't do that quite as effectively.
By smothering punches, you're meaning what he's been doing so well is getting him up on the ropes to where he can really work the body. But by smothering him, you're meaning to where you still got enough space to where you can really get some torque behind the punch.
Exactly. Okay. Well said. And this reminds me of their first fight where Reyes won some of the early rounds and Vasquez had some moments in the middle rounds
where he kind of clawed his way back into it, and here we are. Let's see if he can do it again.
This is a defining moment in the fight. If Vasquez can really build some momentum, because he did have a better round in round 4 than the first 3. But once again, Reyes gets him up against the ropes.
We still do have 5 more rounds to go, folks.
You're listening to the broadcast of Stork Vision. David Hudson bringing you all the action here at the Tennessee State Fairgrounds on a St. Patty's Day on a 10-round match.
Yeah. And it's really a pleasure to see 2 guys well-conditioned, really coming to fight.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And
both of these guys, you know, this has been really one of the more even fights that we've seen here tonight.
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's a good matchup, and I'm glad Matt Young brought these 2 fighters back together, because they had a good fight their first time, and they're not disappointing this time. Edwin once again, though, is throwing more punches, the busier fighter. You know, and in some of these close rounds, it's just very hard sometimes for judges not to reward Edwin for being the aggressor.
Yeah, I'm sure it's hard to kind of stay neutral down there, and you know, you got to really count. Yeah, he is the aggressor, but as you talk about those effective punches, if there are a lot of them are just jabs, and Vasquez can come out and land some of those big left hooks.
Yeah. And Vasquez really finding a home for that right hand, though. He's really working him over and keeping him in the corner. In their first fight, Vasquez was able to keep more of the fight in the center of the ring. And that's really an improvement that Edwin's done this time.
Working in that right hand.
Really, really looking sharp. Really reasserting himself this round.
Reyes trying to work the body again.
Yeah, Vasquez has his moments, but I'll tell you, Edwin is really, really asserting himself here. Good combo by Vasquez.
Nearing the end of round 5. Edwin Reyes and Armando Vasquez doing battle. Both gentlemen wearing a bluish colored trunk. Black accents on Reyes' trunks.
Good body work by Reyes.
And another close one there, David. How would you score that one?
Anthony, I think Reyes won that round. I think he was more effective. He had Vasquez up against the ropes, and I think he did some good body work in that round. So I have it 4 rounds to 1 in favor of Reyes, 49-46, I believe.
So now that we're moving into the later stages of this fight, it's crunch time now for Armando Vasquez. He's got to really put something together now that he's down 4 rounds to 1 so far.
Yeah, and it's just tough because he's fighting a younger, stronger fighter. His calling card is that good left hook counter. He's got to, again, create some angles, land a couple good left hooks, and try to keep that fight in the center of the ring. And Edwin Reyes does not fight well backing up. But the problem for Vasquez is that Edwin Reyes has been coming forward the entire fight.
Absolutely. Just right from the opening bell. We'll see if he does it again here. Keep an eye on him. Got a little something going on. All right.
A lot of mutual
respect
between these fighters, which is good to see. They're real professionals.
Absolutely. Vasquez a little more
hand. Wow.
A little more aggressive here,
Yeah,
but
really
Reyes
stepping
just
it up.
really asserting the strength though.
Yeah, he's just a stronger fighter, and switching southpaw again, he's just blitzing him.
He got tagged in the chin right there.
Yeah. And Reyes is not a good fighter backing up. So if somehow Vasquez can land something significant and back him up, it might be a different story. And right now, once again, Reyes is pushing him backwards.
And I'm sure it's got to be pretty hard for Armando Vasquez to kind of judge when do I go in for that hard charge and not get my blocks knocked off me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's just tough. Just tough. He's done a little bit better job. He hasn't been on the ropes as much so far this round.
Yeah, this round's looking a lot better for him.
I'm not sure what Reyes is really thinking right now.
No, I was
like
thinking
he's taking a breather here. I don't know.
The same thing. He could be. He might figure.
I think he's looking in to try to land a big right hand coming in and then try to swarm him. But
might be a good possibility, like you just said. Though his trainer said, "Hey, if you can dance around a little bit this round, we're up 4-1." But at the same time, you don't want to let your guard down. And if the opportunity presents itself to attack,
I think Edwin is best when he's got Vasquez on the ropes, pounding him to the body as he's doing right now. He's really working him over.
Vasquez has been on those ropes most of this fight.
Yeah,
it's a spot that he's just not been able to get out of.
It's hard to win fights off the ropes. It really is. Very difficult. I mean, there are a few fighters that have done it. Wilfred Radar Benitez was such a gifted fighter. He was so gifted defensively. He could fight off the ropes and give people problems. But Armando Vasquez is not Wilfredo Benitez.
No. Punches starting to get wider and wider for Vasquez. But, yeah, both of these guys really, really well conditioned, though. And neither one of them has showed too big signs of fatigue. I think really for Armando, he's starting to feel some of the pain. And at the end of that round, I'm sure we're going 10-9 Reyes there.
I would agree with you, Anthony. I think he's just fighting his fight, and he just is doing an excellent job. He's not the greatest defensive fighter in the world, but he's certainly improved over his last outing. And I think right now, he's actually winning more convincingly over Vasquez than he did when he beat Vasquez the first time they fought.
Yeah, and you speak of he's not really the greatest defensive fighter, but he hasn't really had to defend himself all that much here tonight. He's continuing to come out and be the aggressor.
It's like the old saying, the best defense is a good offense, and Reyes is employing that pretty effectively.
Yep, absolutely. Moving into...
I'd like to see a little bit more body work, and I'm sure Timmy Miller's telling him that in the corner. He's got to work that body.
Moving into round 7.
And for Vasquez, you really got to do something to change the course of this bout.
It's to the point where you may have to take a risk you don't want to take, but it's come to the time where you got to do it. But,
absolutely.
Reyes, I'm sure, trying to get him up against those ropes again so that he can work the body. Got a little something going on, a timeout there.
Like something with the trunks. A stoppage in action gives the both fighters a little bit of a breather.
We appreciate everybody joining us on Stork Vision. Take it back, David Hudson.
Yeah, here we are in round 7. Edwin Reyes winning this fight with his effective aggressiveness, and Armando Vasquez looking to do something a little bit different to try to fend off the relentless attack by Edwin Reyes.
These past couple of rounds, he's really started to tie Reyes up a little bit more. I think he's just really trying to get this fight to the 10th round if he can, and maybe rely on him being able to somehow withstand this onslaught and maybe tire Reyes out a little bit. But from what I've seen from Edwin Reyes, though, so far, he's just technically wise, doing a great job of keeping him in corners, really working that midsection.
Yeah, he's fighting his fight, and that usually is a good sign for a boxer when you fight your fight. He's really found a place for that left hook to the body. Good pressure, good combinations. I'll tell you what, when Vasquez sleeps at night, he probably sees images of Edwin Reyes. He's just all up in his space here.
I couldn't agree more, David.
He has his moments, but he just is not consistent enough he doesn't seem to have the firepower to keep Reyes off of him.
Yeah, and it's, you know, if this is Armando Vasquez maybe 5 or 6 years ago, we may be speaking about this a little bit differently, but
yeah, that's an excellent point. He's fought a lot of rounds.
Age is probably starting to catch up with Vasquez, where Reyes is really starting to come into his prime.
Yeah, he's really looking good. He's
a good fight so far between the two of these gentlemen now. Moving into the later stages of round 7.
When the fight is fought off the ropes and Vasquez is on the ropes, he's just not going to win the round. You know, Reyes is just outworking him.
So far, Reyes with a commanding 5-1 lead over Vasquez. So hope's starting to dwindle for the man with the red, white, and green gloves. Good right hand there, though.
Good left hook, but
he tried a big left hook, but I'm going to guess we're going to go 10-9 Reyes again.
I would agree with you, Anthony. He's just doing more. He's landing more punches. He's throwing more punches. He's fighting the fight where he wants the fight to take place. He's dictating the action.
And the way things are looking, I think you were probably right in saying this probably will go the distance. But then again, in these later stages, you know, Vasquez has taken a lot of shots to that midsection. So
I'm tired just watching him get his face beat in.
Yeah, it may come to that time where he's gotten those ribs just absolutely pulverized right now, and he may drop those arms a little bit, and Reyes may be able to start hitting him in the head a little bit.
Yeah, but that's where that experience comes in. Like we said, he's got, this is his 47th professional bout. He knows how to handle himself in
Absolutely, there. And he's done a great job tonight of hanging in there against Reyes.
But, he has got to land something significant. He's got to take a few more chances.
David, it's just a manhandling in it. Reyes just manhandles him as far as strength, and we can see it.
He's a stronger fighter, Stork, and he's pushing him up against the ropes, and that's just not a good place for Armando Vasquez to be. And again, Vasquez has his moments, but it's just not enough. He's not consistent enough.
Why doesn't Vasquez try to run away or get out of that when he's on the ropes? Why does he stay in that position?
Excellent question. I don't know if he's got it in his legs. You know, he's just...
I mean, if I'm getting hit, I want to run.
Yeah.
Or find someplace else to go to get in better position, I'm thinking.
And he's parrying some of those shots, so they're not all landing clean. But you're right. Reyes is winning the rounds. He's putting rounds in the bank. And Reyes has got to somehow keep the fight in the center of the ring. He's got to dig in and land some significant left hooks and follow him up with the hard right.
As the rounds continue to drop, you know, and Reyes is getting confidence, and when you think Vasquez is going to get a little something, and Reyes comes right back.
That's right. He's just seems to have more energy. Now, Vasquez is actually pushing him back here, but he's not throwing a whole lot. And you just got to, I don't know, like you said, he's taking a lot of punches. He's a wily veteran, but Reyes is really showing better defense this fight than I've seen him in past fights. He's
yeah, you mentioned earlier, not the greatest defensive fighter, but
he's doing pretty well.
In the times where Vasquez tries to get something going, or it looks like he is going to get something going, Reyes does a good job of getting out of it and even throwing good counter punches when he gets hit. About a minute left here in the round, folks.
We're in round 8. This is a little bit different of a round in that Reyes is fighting more in the center of the ring, but he's just not landing a lot.
Yeah, he's done a lot of circling around Vasquez, and it seems to me like he's got the mindset right now of, I want him to open up real quick, and I'm going to see if I can throw a quick right. He's been landing pretty good rights.
Good left hook, but again, it's just not enough. Reyes comes right back. But he does have a fighting spirit. Got to admire these guys. I don't know how they keep at it after all.
We're going to move to round 9, folks, and I want a little bit closer, but
closer
what's the
round.
call?
I'd probably still give it to Reyes. It was a close round. I wouldn't complain if somebody scored that one for Vasquez.
10-9.
2 more rounds to go. Edwin Reyes fighting a very disciplined fight, a very aggressive fight. Sometimes when fighters get aggressive, they lose their discipline. But Edwin's been able to calibrate that balance between discipline and aggression. And I think he's going to, if things continue, he's going to have a very good win added to his professional resume.
And then for Armando Vasquez, I'm sure they're telling him, dig deep right now, buddy. We got to get something out of you.
Yeah, he's got to dig deep, and he's got to go for broke. He's got to take chances, and he's got to get out of that counter-puncher sort of sparring partner mentality. He's got to go for broke.
David Hudson, you said this is one of the best nights that has been here at the Tennessee State Fairgrounds for TriStar Boxing. What do you think drove that?
I think it's good matchmaking. I think it's also the fact that we're cultivating a following among a lot of the good local fighters. So you've got a good mix of journeymen matched against each other, and then nice and up-and-coming prospects. Matt Young does a fine job. He's really building a brand here, and I'm just grateful for him for bringing boxing back to Middle Tennessee.
Out of a lot of the professional boxing organizations that you see here around the Southeast, where does TriStar stack up for you? Is it one of the better ones out there?
I think so. I think Matt's really doing it the right way. And he's really doing an excellent job here in Middle Tennessee. At one time, we had, in 1998, the state of Tennessee had the second most fight cards of any state in the United States, behind only California. As I'm sitting here talking, Vasquez actually had some pretty good punches there.
Yeah,
it was actually a fiery exchange there. But from 97 to 99, Tennessee had a lot of boxing cards, and I'd like to see it get back there, because this is a community that enjoys combat sports, and as Stork said earlier, boxing's making a comeback.
Yeah, absolutely. And
good action in this round, by the way. Good action.
Very good. This is the most entertaining round I think we've had in this fight yet, and to see it here this late is just a testament to the heart and grit of both of these guys.
Vasquez seems to be, getting a little bit of. He's taken such a punishment, kind of like a Rocky from the movie, and now it seems like I'm deciding I'm going to make my run. Is that possible, David?
I don't know if he has the power to he needs a knockout, in my opinion, to win the fight. I don't think he has the power to stop Reyes. He's landed some good shots, but I don't think he has the power.
He's going to have a knockout.
He'll need a knockout.
Likely.
Judges could give some of these closer rounds to Vasquez, so it could be a little closer than we have it, but Reyes is clearly ahead.
Definitely a more entertaining round here, though. We've seen a pretty good offensive onslaught here on the right side of the ring from Vasquez. He landed a couple of big shots, and then Reyes just coming right back and working the body again like he's done for this entire fight.
Yeah, to his credit, Vasquez has thrown more punches this round.
I'd have to give that
may
round
have snuck
to him.
that round out. Yeah, he fought a good round.
David, may I ask, what type of ring will we see for the MMA if we decide to come do that broadcast?
Oh well, it'll be a different phenomenon. You don't have ropes, you have a cage. You don't have 4 sides, you have either 6 or 8 sides, and it's just a whole different mentality. MMA is fascinating because in order to be a good MMA fighter, you really have to be proficient in several different fighting disciplines. So you have to be a good striker, you have to be a good wrestler, you have to know some jiu-jitsu. There are just so many different ways that you can lose a fight. in MMA.
The popularity of just MMA in general, to me, it kind of seemed like it took off so quickly.
For the 18 to 39 demographic, MMA is actually beating boxing. But I do think boxing is making a comeback, particularly with the greater renewed interest in boxing, particularly heavyweight boxing. I think that's for two reasons. One, Joshua Klitschko, and two, Wilder Ortiz. There were two really thrilling heavyweight fights, and we've got two undefeated heavyweight champions in Anthony Joshua from Great Britain and Deontay Wilder here from the United States.
Yeah. Final round of this one.
Yeah, and Ray, I think Vasquez needs a knockout. I think
he's going to have to pull something out of the hat here.
He needs a Weaver Tate here, and I don't really think he has it in him. Hate to be so pessimistic.
You have to give him the credit for making it as far as he did. The past fight only went 8 rounds. This a 10-round bout this time.
Oh, he's a seasoned veteran. He's a pro, no doubt. And he's acquitted himself okay. But I think Reyes has really been sharper. He's just been a good effort.
It just goes back to Vasquez is more at the tail end of his career, and Reyes is kind of coming into his prime, and it's just kind of caught up to Vasquez that, hey, this guy I'm going up against, he's younger, he's faster, he's stronger. You know, what can you do?
Yeah, I think Vasquez knows he's down. He's landed a flurry there. That was actually a very good exchange by Vasquez. And notice that he's actually moving forward for one of the few times in the fight.
Maybe too little, too late.
He's a seasoned pro. I don't know why he wasn't this aggressive earlier in the fight, Anthony. It seems like he fought too defensively.
When he's come aggressively, you mentioned earlier, Reyes doesn't fight quite as well backing up. And
no, he doesn't.
These past 3 rounds, at the tail end of this fight, when he's become more aggressive, he's landed a good 3 combinations of punches.
Now Reyes is coming on again. Oh, great action.
Wow.
I think the crowd appreciates the effort of these two fighters.
Well.
They're fighting harder in the 10th round than they did in other rounds. I mean, this is impressive. Think of the conditioning that these men have to be able to fight like this.
This is great stuff.
Vasquez is really landing some left hooks, but Reyes has a good chin. He's not going to, I don't think he's going to be stopped. He's just too tough.
Fight slowly dwindling away for Armando Vasquez, looking for that knockout punch.
And again, he's landed some good left hooks, but it's just...
That's it. That's a close round right there.
I'd probably give that to Vasquez.
Yeah.
I think I have it 97-93 for Reyes. I wouldn't quarrel with 98-92 or 99-91. Reyes clearly won the fight. Vasquez had his moments, but there weren't enough of them.
All in all,
Reyes should get an unanimous decision.
Just a great fight, and seeing these guys put their arms around each other and wave to the crowd. This crowd, I'm sure, very appreciative to be able to have seen that. That was a great fight.
Guys, I just looked up the time in Africa with the assassin and his family. It is 5:24 a.m. So if they are tuning in Africa, they're having breakfast and getting ready to watch this main event that's coming up.
Yeah, and I talked to Senna earlier. He's ready to fight. I think he's going to put on a good show.
Absolutely. Our main event is coming up, folks. Senna Agbeko and Lawrence Blakey.
Let's wait
to 6-round fight.
Yeah, let's wait though. We want to see, we want to wait to hear them say Reyes won this, as we very well know he did, but we're going to wait.
Still be interesting to see if there's a disparity in the 3 scorecards.
Well, yeah, and I want to see how close you are, David. You've done a wonderful job tonight. You've been dead on.
Well, and I have to be honest though, commentating takes some energy, and they're focused solely on the fight, and as a commentator, you're doing something different, focusing from different vantage points. So,
well, you've done a phenomenal job here tonight,
Reyes
David.
won the fight.
you have done a phenomenal job up here tonight of really honestly carrying this broadcast, because like I said, that me and Stork here, this is our first time doing any boxing whatsoever, and without you up here tonight setting us up and providing such an education and the history of boxing and everything, it's been great.
Well, it's just been a pleasure to work with you, Anthony. I enjoy it.
We'll wait on the decision here.
That was a good fight. I really thought Edwin Reyes had a good game plan, and I thought he followed through for the most part. And, just a good young fighter.
And honestly, we talk about the conditioning of the two of them. I think if you ask both of them to go another round or two, they probably could even
I
still.
think they could. They're just seasoned pros. They're just seasoned pros.
That was something else to go 10 rounds, and boy, you got to be in great shape to be able to pull something like that off. Taking a minute to get the final scores in here. A little bit more math involved than a 4-round fight, obviously. A little more addition we got to do. Great crowd here tonight, here on St. Patrick's Day. Got one more fight coming up for you.
Now, if somebody has Vasquez winning the fight, that would be a problem to me. I think Reyes clearly won this bout.
Yeah. Should be a unanimous decision, but should there be a split decision, why would you, if you could make a case for Vasquez and you were going to judge that, it'd be hard to say so, but why would you say it would be?
If a judge wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean, Reyes won that fight.
Yeah. Referee Dan Ziemba invites both fighters to the middle of the ring. And announcer Tony Leahy will deliver the final judgment.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. Judge Edwin Reyes scores this fight 96-94 for Vasquez. Blake Rockwell scores the fight 99-91 for Reyes. Judge Josh Conway scores it 97-93 for your winner, Edwin.
Well, Reyes wins the fight, but we did end up getting a split decision.
Well, and I think Conway was right on the mark. If you notice, Judge Conway had it 97-93, which is what we had it up here. One judge had it 99-91.
And then the 96-94 in favor of Vasquez.
Yeah, that was off. I don't think there's any way Vasquez won 6 rounds, but it's a victory for Reyes.
We end up with a split decision, and
should have been unanimous, but
while we're in between fights, we'd like to thank you again for joining us here tonight on Stork Vision. Got my engineer and my partner and good buddy Stork Montgomery, and doing play-by-play here for us tonight, David Hudson. Loved having him here on with us tonight, and we're going to take a quick break before the main event of Senna Agbeko and Lawrence Blakey.